What's going on, guys? Levi here, and I just finished my perimeter watch. A little eventful, I would say. Many of you have heard by now, I'm sure, that the zombie apocalypse is in full swing, and I've seen a lot of people out there with the most retarded firearm setups, and it's getting them killed. So I figured today we'd go over mine. I think it's a pretty good setup. It's served me well. I've killed probably a dozen zombies by now. So without further delay, let's go ahead and take a closer look. Alright, so to be clear, today's video is only going to be discussing any of the other gear I'm wearing that you see right now. That's for a later video. We'll go over the plate carrier and the placard. We'll go over the helmet later on. But for now, we're talking about the... So with that in mind, I'm going to shed some of this gear. I should have grabbed a hat. Okay. So this is it. This is my Geisley Super Duty. It's 11.5-inch barrel. I got the gray color because it looks super sick, and not a lot of people that I know have gray guns. I just have to be extra bougie like that, I guess, and get something that no one else has. So, what separates this from any other gun? Well, nothing really, besides the fact that it's just a really high-end AR, at least my definition of a high-end. Most people would agree with me, though. It's really the setup that we're talking about, not so much the gun. So if you came here to look at, technical specs or what kind of bolt carrier is used, what kind of trigger, we're not necessarily talking about that. I might touch on a few of these components though, so just keep that in mind. We're going to work from the tip and go down from there. So at the very front here, this is a Griffin Armament Rekt 5 suppressor. And I really like this one because, one, it's cheap, relatively inexpensive that is. It doesn't weigh very much. I think it's like 16 ounces, which is not bad for a silencer. And it's really quiet in comparison to many other suppressors out there. I actually do own an OSS, which is subjectively the better can. However, objectively, this one in general is a little bit quieter. The OSS might be quieter at the shooter's ear, but otherwise, this is quieter in just about every way. Which, we're talking the zombie apocalypse here, so quiet is better, even if it's not at the shooter's ear, but in general. This is connected with their micro QD muzzle brake, something like that. And yeah, I mean, it's a pretty cool muzzle device. I'm not much of a brake guy, per se, but that actually shipped with the suppressor, so that is why that is on there. It is a taper mount. You can see the threads. So it takes more energy and force to remove the suppressor than it takes to put it on there in the first place. Moving down from there, the flashlight, we have a Surefire Scout Light Pro, something like that. And we're using the standard Picatinny mount. It comes with Picatinny and M-LOK. This is the Cloud Defense LCS Mark I, which is made for Surefire flashlights. All this does is kind of manage your cordage a little bit better, and it's made out of aluminum, so it's very durable. It's better than zip ties, that's for sure. You can also get it in polymer if you want to save a few bucks. I didn't know that at the time, otherwise I probably would have. But hey, the aluminum is nice and durable. It feels really good, looks really good. And then mounting it at the 12 o'clock makes it very easy to hit that pressure switch. Right now with this pressure switch, it is momentary only. I'm rocking the Magpul rail covers as well as their hand stop. What I like about this is it's very comfortable, also very aggressive texturing. You have the longer part of the hand stop in the back for really pulling that gun into your shoulder, but then you also have the smaller one up front, which you can use on a barricade or just really helps prevent your fingers from going forward, which on a shorter barrel like this, especially with a suppressor, it's a good idea to have this so you don't burn your hand on the suppressor, or say if I'm shooting it without the silencer, it'll prevent my hands from going in front of the muzzle. I like to throw electrical tape on like all of my guns, so I just have some electrical tape there for really no reason at all. Here we have the Faro Concepts Slingster. All of my guns also have a slingster on them. I'm sure there's plenty of other great slings, but this is just what I'm used to using, and so that's what I have on there. In fact, you're going to see some close-ups that I was able to take before the apocalypse hit. When I was running my multicam sling, I just switched it to black just because. I mean, it looks cooler on the gun because the gun is mostly black and gray. So whatever. I guess should probably swap that back considering what's going on with the world today. From there, this is a My Southern Tactical dust cover. Has a little shark symbol. It does literally nothing to the gun except for add a little pizzazz, which is cool. At least I think it's cool. You probably think it's lame as fuck, but whatever. I like that. I'm running this guy exclusively for the most part. I shouldn't say exclusively, but you can see on my kit, they're all the same. These are Duramags from C Products, running 77 grain IMI Razor Core ammo. With a shorter barrel, it's better to have a heavier bullet if you can get it. So that's why I'm rocking that. Ambi Safety, BCM Gunfighter grip, which is my favorite grip. Both of my ARs have it. In fact, when I had a 1022 Charger, that was the grip I put on there as well. The trigger on this guy is proprietary for the Super Duty line of Geisley. It is a 4.5 pound 2-stage trigger. A little bit of take up, wall, nice crisp break, no movement whatsoever. Reset all the way forward, which depending on who you ask is kind of a bummer, but I don't really mind. Wall, crisp break, really good trigger. Like I said, I'm not going to go over the bolt or anything like that, but it's the one that came on the gun. It's a very high end or high quality bolt made of good material. Put this mag back in there. Make sure I don't accidentally chamber around, but there you go. What else did we miss? You have your standard Geisley trigger guard there. Again, that's the one that came on the gun. Same with the takedown pins here. They're textured, which is nice, but again, came on the gun. Looking at the other side here, we have the Geisley Maritime bolt catch. Again, came with the firearm. So you're going to learn, or you can, as you can probably tell, I should say that I did not swap out much on this gun. This is pretty much how it came to me, with a few little things like adding the flashlight, changing the muzzle device, and all that good stuff. Charging handle, again, came on the gun. I believe this is their airborne charging handle. We'll take a look at that. Airborne charging handle, it says right there, from Geisley. Pretty cool. It doesn't stick out too much, so it doesn't snag on gear nearly as much as like the larger BCM handle that I have on my other AR. And I like it. It's ambidextrous, which is nice. And you have a gas buster here, whatever you want to call that, little buffer, so that when you're shooting the gun suppressed, you get less gas in the face, which is a nice touch. Now, perhaps the most important part of this firearm, which distinguishes it as a better apocalypse setup than most of these other idiots out here who are getting wrecked, it's going to be the optic system. First and foremost, this is the Trijicon RMR dual illumination, which uses tritium and fiber optics. So out here on a sunny day, I mean, that triangle that I have, it's an amber triangle, very crisp. I mean, incredibly crisp. That is mounted on with a T-Rex Arms offset red dot mount. And now the scope, this is the Vortex Razor 1-6 with the MOA reticle, and that is mounted on here with the ADM 193 mount. Why do I think this is a better option or a better setup than many of the other setups I've been seeing? Well, because it's very durable. That's the reason why Vortex razors are used by the military. They're one of the few optics that can actually survive on a scar. So very durable. Don't see many survivors driving by nowadays. Dang. Anyways, one of the few optics that can survive on a scar, so very durable. And for what we're needing for shooting zombies, we're not trying to punch out super far, but it's nice to have the capability in case some marauders out here are trying to get froggy with us and take us out from a distance. I can just crank up this magnification to 6 power and I'll be able to reach out there a little bit further. I have the Vortex, what do they call this? Switch view or something like that. Whatever this guy's called. I got that mounted on there. That did not come with the optic, unfortunately. It really should, but it doesn't. Let's see if there's anything I'm missing here. Oh yeah, duh. This is legally, this is a pistol. This is a AR pistol, which means this is not a stock, this is a pistol brace. In fact, this is the SBA3. It is the one that came on the gun, but I did add the split fix here, which is nice. What that does is when you're shooting this, it prevents it from folding in on each other, or on itself I should say, which is definitely an issue with the SBA3 without the split fix. I believe this came from Wiseman Company, if I remember that correctly. And that's pretty much it. So why did I pick an 11.5 AR pistol? Because it's lean and mean, and with the suppressor, it gives you the same length as a 16-inch AR without the silencer. So it's very versatile in that aspect. It's lighter weight, so it's easier to carry. And that's pretty much it. The main incentive for buying this is my other AR is a 16-inch, and I pretty much had the same setup on that AR first, but I found it to be too heavy. Basically, I was getting fatigued too fast when I was holding that gun and shooting it without putting it on a bench or something. So I reconfigured that gun to be more of an SPR setup, I suppose, but this became my new primary for now. And I say for now for a reason, because it's always subject to change. In fact, I have another little secret something to show you later on, but I need to finish scavenging all the parts to finish that build, so you'll have to wait and see that in a later video, but you are going to want to see it, trust me. Alright, well, unless I think of anything else here in a few minutes, that's pretty much it. Make sure you guys stay safe out there. You know, the zombie apocalypse is no joke. Look out for one another, watch your backs at all times, and don't be dumb and get yourself killed with stupid AR setups or rifle setups in general. So there you go. Remember, all gun laws are unconstitutional. Of course, now that the apocalypse has hit, kind of not an issue anymore, but still, they were unconstitutional. Don't forget it. But also remember to have a good rest of your day. We'll see you later. Bye. I way miscalculated how much ammo. Yeah! He's an assassin! Alright, I'm gonna try. 7374, maybe.